Julia Roberts leaves home to begin a new life in a new town. But you can't escape the past when you've been sleeping with the enemy. Next on HBO.
What have you got when you got HBO?
What is HBO, in other words? It's very... You know what? Very similar... No, not at all. Let me try this one more time. If you took... Why is it so hard to... I just don't know. I don't know.
Well, you just had to be there.
Can you hear me?
A hopeless case.
Does he ever speak to you?
Of course not. A dedicated doctor.
What I know is these people are alive inside.
A quiet miracle.
Dr. Thayer, it's a miracle.
Robert De Niro.
You thought what you'd like to do today?
I would do all the things that you people take for granted.
Leonard, where are you going?
Robin Williams.
Leonard! Leonard! That's not wading, that's swimming!
Awakenings.
Leonard! Leonard!
Premieres Saturday on HBO.
Boxing means champions. Boxing means tradition. Boxing means HBO. Brace yourselves for the night of the heavyweights, live from Las Vegas. Michael Moorer, the undefeated slugger with the power punch. Lennox Lewis, Europe's heavyweight champ. A doubleheader spectacular. And ringside, it's you-know-who.
You know where it happens.
Moorer, Lewis. Night of the heavyweights, Saturday, 10 Eastern on HBO. It took a special breed of men to fly the Intruder.
This is going to be the most exciting thing you've ever done with your clothes on.
Nerve made them defy the odds.
I don't think trees in a suspected truck park is worth a man's life.
Honor made them defy the rules.
You were over Hanoi, weren't you?
When the dirty business of war
They send you here to stroke the widow?
got personal.
You tell me you're interested in payback.
Danny Glover, Willem Dafoe, Brad Johnson, Rosanna Arquette. Flight of the Intruder. Primetime premiere February 8th on HBO.
Tonight, it all happens here on HBO. At 8, Julia Roberts and Patrick Bergen star in Sleeping with the Enemy. And at 10, David Soul heads up the cast in the World War II drama, Tides of War. Then at 11:30, can Martin help his ex-wife with premarital jitters? Dream on. Sleeping with the Enemy, Tides of War, and Dream on. It all happens here tonight on HBO.
On location in Southern California, on the set of her new movie, actress Drew Barrymore adds gun crazy to her growing list of credits.
Okay, extras have a seat. A couple words for you.
In Gun Crazy, Barrymore plays a young girl who escapes from her impoverished life and abusive stepfather through a pen-pal relationship she develops with Howard, a convict at a nearby state prison played by James LeGros. Through their letters, the two eventually fall in love, and when Howard gets out on parole, they try to start a new life together. But before they have a chance, things only get worse.
I can't do this, Howard.
For Christ's sake, don't say my name!
Look, they know who we are!
While her life seemed like a fairy tale, the young actress admits her Hollywood upbringing made her off-screen life miserable.
It's impossible, actually. You can never really truly be yourself in a public place, you know, or they might take it the wrong way. But, I mean, I'm pretty comfortable with myself, so I'm very me when I go out, and, I put my limitations on what I do being me, But it's not that hard.
Not hard now that she's learned from her mistakes, but there were times when Barrymore used drugs and alcohol to escape the pressures of her professional life. Barrymore's captured her story in her autobiography, Little Girl Lost. Looking back, the 16-year-old child star says she's older and a lot wiser.
We all have so many expectations always put on us. But, I think that what's really important is to not put too many expectations on yourself,
Focusing on the bright side, she says those tough times have taught her a lot about herself as both a woman and an actress.
It's hard because you constantly have to be honest with yourself, and, you've always got to be, getting in touch with feelings that sometimes are so difficult to get in touch with, and, on that level, it's hard, but it's really fascinating the whole time because you really relive and relearn things about yourself.
And Barrymore admits there were days when she thought her career was over.
There were times where people, you know, said I would never work again, or, you know, when I had to take a break from work, it was very scary, you know, coming back into it. And, you know, I would get so close and then I'd miss out, you know, and I didn't understand why it wasn't coming to me like that. And I didn't understand that, you know, it's supposed to happen when it's supposed to happen. You know, I kept trying to, like, jump on the train, and I kept, like, falling off and going, why do I keep falling off? And then all of a sudden the train stopped and the door opened. I was like, oh, I can get in now.
Barrymore says she sees a lot of similarities between herself and her gun-crazy character.
Anita, she's incredible. I mean, when I read the script, I just fell so in love with her. She is so like me emotionally, you know. She's extremely vulnerable, and she's been through so much in her life.
Unlike Barrymore, James LeGros, who was featured in the film Drugstore Cowboy, says he's thankful he and his character have absolutely nothing in common.
I've never had a date like Howard's having. I hope nobody I know ever has a date like Howard's having.
LeGros says he wasn't too fond of the snakes he had to handle in this scene with co-star Billy Drago.
Now this is a true, beautiful test of faith. Because God spoke to the serpent.
I don't want to offend any snake owners, but I hate them. They're snakes, you know what I mean?
The producers always try and sell you on doing something outrageous. And he said, you know, it's up to you, but boy, we could really, this shot would be so much, you know, if we had the real rattlesnake in there. And I said, well, has it been, you know, depoisoned or whatever? And he said, well, you can't really do that.
Drago decided to tough it out anyway. In Gun Crazy, he plays a town preacher who's a little over the top, just the way he says he likes it.
Most of the characters I play are like that, so it's I'm having fun with it in the sense of that there's no raping and pillaging, you know, involved. I don't have to kill some baby or you know or do something. I can do the flamboyant part without having to do the other things.
As the cast of Gun Crazy finish up their last few days of shooting, Barrymore says she's already feeling reflective.
I'm really happy, you know, it's great. I'm just working and doing what I love, and I'm so fortunate because I'm getting incredible projects, you know, and believe me, you know, and every actor knows this, you know, most of the time it's not handed to you, you know, you really have to fight for it, but I think I love that challenge even more because I appreciate it so much when I get out there. You know, I really made it a point to everybody to show them that I was Anita, you know, and now that I'm being her, it feels so great because I'm, you know, it's like I really fought for her.
Julia Roberts leaves home to begin a new life in a new town, but you can't escape the past when you've been sleeping with the enemy. Next on HBO.
Do you know what male, women, explosive experts, meter maids, bounty hunters, private eyes, lottery winners, astronauts, and tax evaders all have in common? They're each appearing on Ace Award-winning Paula Poundstone's new late-night show.
Have you ever been abducted by aliens?
That's right. Ordinary people.
I've been bitten twice by a great white shark.
Extraordinary stories.
You can fry up the neighbor's cat if you really get hungry.
Well, there's a good thing to blurt out on a high-profile program.
The Paula Poundstone Show. Everyday people, every Friday night. Premieres Friday, February 7th on HBO.
On the HBO Comedy Hour, travel to the crazy world of Bob Nelson.
Mom! I need toilet paper!
He broke through as a young comedian.
Oh, first I want to show you my grandmother.
Cut loose on a one-night stand.
Billy Bob Rubeck, University of Texas. Right guard.
Now he's in the spotlight for his first HBO.
What's your sign? I'm a 50.
Bob Nelson.
I know I am. But what are you?
A comic force of multiple personalities.
Use your head for once, you know? A lot of guys think with this, you know, but I use my head.
With a unique perspective.
Teacher used to always say to me, where are you going to go with that crap when you graduate, Mr. Nelson? Where are you going to go with that, huh? I don't know, HBO.
Bob Nelson. Premieres Saturday, February 8th on the HBO Comedy Hour.
It's the kids in the hall.
was your weekend?
We need our water. We need our milk. Now repeat after me.
The Kids in the Hall, an all-new episode, premieres every Friday at midnight on HBO. Don't make me laugh.
Hi, I'm Nina Griscom for HBO Entertainment News. The weeks before the nominations for Academy Awards are announced is traditionally a time when critics throw their choices into the ring, and this year is no exception. In New York, film critics put their votes behind Jodie Foster and director Jonathan Demme at their annual awards dinner. Foster was honored as Best Actress of the Year for Silence of the Lambs, which was also named Best Picture. Anthony Hopkins was the critics' choice as Best Actor, and Jonathan Demme was cited as Best Director. New York critics are among the toughest in the business, and receiving an award from them, says Foster, is a true honor.
Very prestigious and also very kind of personal in a weird way, because it's always, you know, it's just about New York.
In Los Angeles, film critics had other films on their mind. According to their annual census, Bugsy is the year's best film, and Barry Levinson is the best director. LA critics chose Nick Nolte in The Prince of Tides as Best Actor of the Year, and Mercedes Ruehl was a surprise pick for Best Actress in The Fisher King. Also in Los Angeles, the annual Golden Globe Awards attracted celebrities who were anxious to hear what the Hollywood foreign press calls the year's best. Nick Nolte and Jodie Foster were named Best Actor and Actress in a Drama, and Bette Midler and Robin Williams took home honors for Best Acting in a Musical or Comedy. While the movie industry has already taken advantage of the latest accolades to lure viewers into the box office, the true test will come in February when Oscar makes his picks for Hollywood's top prize. In New York, it was proof that celebrities and politics do mix, as Frank Sinatra and Shirley MacLaine were joined by Liza Minnelli at a happy birthday fundraiser for New York City Council President Andrew Stein. Frank Sinatra took the stage at Manhattan's Waldorf Astoria and entertained the crowd with what else?
Come on, come through New York.
And in Beverly Hills, Elizabeth Taylor was honored for her humanitarian work in raising money for worldwide AIDS research. As the evening progressed, the new Mr. and Mrs. Fortensky were serenaded by Connie Stevens, and Raquel Welch read a tribute to Liz, only to find out that Taylor had left the ceremony in search of the ladies' room.
Elizabeth.
When Taylor finally returned to her seat, Madame Sadat, wife of Egyptian President Anwar Sadat, presented her with the Sheba Humanitarian Award.
And I wish all of you love and health and peace.
Hot off the HBO presses, home box office has signed comedian Gary Shandling to star in a new HBO comedy series. Shandling will star as a successful network talk show host trying to stay afloat in the 90s. The new show begins filming in March. 2 Ace Award-winning series will also begin new seasons on HBO this summer. Tales from the Crypt will debut on HBO with all new episodes starting in June. And HBO's adult comedy Dream On will help keep the summer hot with first-run entertainment starting in July. HBO's tradition of broadcasting comic relief specials, which raise funds for the nation's homeless, will continue with Comic Relief 5, scheduled to air in May. And in casting, HBO has signed 3 top Hollywood stars for new HBO original movies. James Garner will star in the Wall Street drama Barbarians at the Gate, and Michael Caine comes to HBO in the international spy thriller Blue Ice. Diane Keaton will bring her talents to a new romantic comedy called Running Mates. Sean Young has a new film at the box office this week. Love Crimes is a provocative thriller starring Young as an assistant DA who goes undercover to trap a crafty con-man rapist.
He's every woman's fantasy.
He kept whispering to me to be loud, and I couldn't stop.
And every woman's nightmare.
You're scaring me.
You're scaring yourself. To trap him,
I'd like to photograph him.
This district attorney will have to make the ultimate sacrifice.
She goes after this guy, and she's making all the choices that she makes. She becomes abused by him, but then again, she kind of chose to be there. You know, she chose to follow him. She chose to track him all the way to his house. She chose to go after somebody outside of the norm.
Young catapulted to stardom in 1987 opposite Kevin Costner in the box office hit No Way Out. Although she's remained a recognizable face in Hollywood ever since, the actress says it hasn't been easy.
I feel very ill at ease in terms of the business of show business. But I try to cope with that.
HBO Entertainment News talked with Young about the politics of making movies and her misfired publicity stunt as the Catwoman. We'll have more on that on the next edition of HBO Entertainment News. I'm Nina Griscom.
Julia Roberts leaves home to begin a new life in a new town, but you can't escape the past when you've been sleeping with the enemy. Next on HBO.
On March 1st, HBO brings down the house. Home Alone premieres March 1st on HBO.
Yes, yes, yes. Every so often, the talent comes along so rare, so original. There's only one place he belongs. Rowan Atkinson, coming to HBO in his first American television special, March 1st.
For Aram Katurian, having it all wasn't as good as getting it all.
When I was his age, I had 3 jobs. I was knocking myself out trying to get somewhere in the world.
Now he's going to get it all back.
Everything screwed up because of my money.
Yes, I see your problem. Boy, I wish I had it.
Even if he's got to do something drastic.
That's a bad news, very bad news.
Jack Lemmon, For Richer, For Poorer. Premieres Saturday, February 29th on HBO.
Boxing means champions. Boxing means tradition. Boxing means HBO. Brace yourselves for the night of the heavyweights, live from Las Vegas. Michael Moorer, the undefeated slugger with the power punch. Lennox Lewis, Europe's heavyweight champ. A doubleheader spectacular. And ringside is you-know-who.
You know where it happened.
Moorer, Lewis. Night of the heavyweights, Saturday, 10 Eastern on HBO.
Can you hear me?
A hopeless case.
Does he ever speak to you? Of course not.
A dedicated doctor.
What I know is these people are alive inside.
A quiet miracle.
Such a fair? It's a miracle.
Robert De Niro.
You thought what you'd like to do today?
I would do all the things that you people take for granted.
Leonard, where are you going?
Robin Williams.
Leonard! Leonard! That's not wading, that's swimming!
Awakenings.
Leonard! Leonard!
Premieres Saturday on HBO.
Tonight, it all happens here on HBO. At 8, Julia Roberts and Patrick Bergen star in Sleeping with the Enemy. And at 10, David Soul heads up the cast in the World War II drama, Tides of War. Then at 11:30, can Martin help his ex-wife with premarital jitters? Dream on. Sleeping with the Enemy, Tides of War, and Dream on. It all happens here tonight on HBO.
The following movie is rated R.